are here this morning to witness the commencement of a very critical stage in the process of establishing the truth concerning what happened to our people in Shakahola forest. And I'm sure everybody knows the facts around the incident that brings us here today. As you are aware, we have recovered 110 bodies so far from Shakahola forest, and the process of exhumation was temporarily stopped because of weather, because the experts advised us that when it is raining, that process cannot continue. It would interfere with the evidence as well as the samples that are being retrieved from the graves. Therefore, I want to confirm that that exercise of exhumation will continue as soon as the weather improves. We really hope that that happens as soon as possible. But in the meantime, the site is secure, and is under the control of the General Service Unit because it's a site of crime, it's a scene of crime. We have about 3 teams here in this mortuary. We have the team of pathologists who are here. We also have the team from DCI, particularly the team from the homicide unit and the forensics unit for purposes of DNA. And then we also have the team from the government chemist, which will deal with toxicology and other tests that require chemical analysis. So that is the team we have here. And officially the process of post-mortem examination of the bodies starts immediately. Starts today. I am advised by the team leader here that that process is expected to take roughly a week, all going well, because again it's a process which is time bound, but of course other factors could arise which could delay. But the team here assures the people of Kenya that we don't expect to take more than 1 week to be able to discharge examination of all the 110 bodies which are in this mortuary. The operation commander going forward is going to be Senior Assistant Inspector General Police Peter Ndungu, who will support what our regional police commander has been doing here. A wonderful job. Mr. Kimani is here with me, and he has been doing a good job, but we've beefed up that command so that we can support the operation. If the theory of organ harvesting is proved, whether that is part of the scope of the investigation, definitely. If any of our people have their organs missing, we will tell the world. There is nothing we are hiding. That is the truth. And we'll have to find out why those organs are missing, who took them, and where. And therefore, this is a long and protracted process of accountability. I'm just praying for patience as we go step by step. But yes, Brenda, we will tell the world if any of the bodies have organs of their bodies missing. Therefore, any time from now, the members of the Commission of Inquiry on the Shakahola tragedy are going to be made public. In the same vein, President William RUTO announced yesterday that other than the Commission of Inquiry, the government has decided to establish a multi-sectoral, multi-agency task force appointed by the President to look at how we can avoid the kind of event that has occurred here in Shakahola. Therefore, in the course of the week, the President will be announcing again members of a presidential task force to deal with generally how we govern religious activities in our country, how we make sure that we do not infringe on the sacred right to the freedom of worship, opinion and belief, but at the same time, we don't allow criminals to misuse that sacred right in the Constitution to hurt people, to kill people, to torture people, and to starve them to death. For that reason, those are the new measures that, as announced by the President, will be implemented in the course of the week. I also want to bring to the public information, to bring this information to the public, that we have transferred all public officers within the security sector who were in office when the crimes in Shakahola were taking place, with the exception of only those officers who reported after the event had taken place. And therefore, no agency is spared. The National Government Administration officers from the lowest level that can be transferred all the way to the county commissioner. The same with the police, from station level all the way to the county commander. The same with the criminal investigations department. The same with the National Intelligence Service. The same with every other department that is relevant to security. We are not declaring any public official culpable, but I want to say that there must be accountability. Part of the terms of reference of the Commission of Inquiry, other than establishing the circumstances under which these offenses took place, the Commission of Inquiry will also investigate, inquire, and make recommendations on action that must be taken against any public officer whose action, inaction, failure, or outright negligence could have caused the deaths that have occurred on our people. So we are moving forward step by step, methodically, carefully, and lawfully to make sure that we get to the bottom of this matter. I know the sentiments and the feelings within the public is the emotions are very high, but in a situation like this, it's good for us to sober up and do things step by step. And therefore, those who are asking whether public officials will be accountable should wait until there is a process of accountability, as I've already outlined, in the coming days. Once again, the government of Kenya will do everything possible to find out who, why, and how a large number of our people met their death in such a cruel and inhumane manner. And any person along the path of accountability will have a date with destiny. I want to, again, on behalf of government, send my sympathies again to the families that are affected, those that may have lost their loved ones, and promise Kenya that there is nothing of this nature that will ever happen in our country again. The kind of measures we're going to put in place will ensure that never again will we have this kind of horrendous crimes on the soil of our country. We are also contemplating on what to do eventually with that scene of crime. And again, at the right time, we will be announcing. Once the process of exhumation, search and rescue is complete, we'll be announcing what governments will do with regard to making sure that place remains a memorial for the country, to ensure that we always remember that this tragedy visited us. So I don't want to say beyond that. I wish you all the best. I thank you once more, members of the press. You have braved the rains and the mud and the sun to make sure that Kenyans are informed of what is happening. We thank you and we count you as partners to the establishment of the truth. critical partners to assisting the country come to terms with the truth and settle accounts. We also want to thank the human rights and humanitarian organizations that continue to give us immense support. The Kenya Red Cross, human rights organizations, several of them, about 4 or 5, uhuru and the other NGOs that are here. You're doing a good job, Aki Africa, and all the other groups that I have mentioned. And even those that I have not mentioned, we are taking stock on who is doing what, and we will publicly recognize what you are doing as members of the civil society. I want to end there and wish you all the best. To our teams of professionals, Dr. Joasen Odwor, my brother Director Yoguto, and all the other teams here from the government departments. This is a responsibility like no other. The country is waiting to know the truth. We want to know what happened.
We are going to be doing the autopsies in teams, and once we finish, we'll do the briefing as I've been
Tell the public that
it will take time because DNA is not a process whereby you just match today and tomorrow you are going to say, voila, this is the test. It's a process, so it might not take 1 day or 2 days. It might even take 1 month or more. Yes.
The process is on. Kama mlivyoona waziri amekuwa hapa we got the necessary tools which are needed at the hospital to do the autopsies, and if there's anything needed, this is an emergency, so we have also talked with Waziri that we will not let everything to overwhelm the county. We will work together with the Minister of Interior and Minister of Health, National Minister of Health, so that they can also help on where we think we don't have some of the tools. Yeah, but we bought some tools. That's why you can see people can start today. They came yesterday. The PPEs, the special PPEs also to enter the morgue there. Like what you call the mobile morgue. You cannot enter without PPEs. So we bought all those stuff. It's going on. The most important thing now, we have agreed with Waziri, as you cannot, the exhuming of bodies cannot continue because of the rain. So the search and rescue is going on. And we are hopeful. Yesterday we saw they rescued their boy. I'm sure the next day they'll be able to rescue many people. So I hope the police, the operation they are moving on, will be able to help us to get more people alive. Unajua hakuna mtu ataathiriwa because sisi tunatafuta wale wagonjwa ambao na wanajua wanajitolea. Tukiona mtu ambaye amedhoofika, tutajua huyo ni katika wale victims. Na pengine vichwa vimechanganyikiwa kidogo, itabidi wapewe muda wa recovery. Hiyo operation hai target raia, ina target ku rescue wale watu ambao walikuwa wanalazimishwa kukaa na njaa. Na unaona tu kwamba huyu amedhoofika mpaka hawezi kutembea, so it's easier to identify wale members wa public ambao wanafuata shughuli zao na wale ambao wako pale mahali. Na of course watapata maybe few criminals ambao walikuwa wanahusika kulinda watu. Na raia wamekuwa wakisaidia polisi, si kwamba wamenyamaza kwa ground. Naambia watu wa Chakama na hiyo maeneo kwamba kila mwenye habari, kama wakiona mtu ambaye ametoka kwa hiyo msitu ama wale ambao walikuwa wanatumiwa kuhujumu hawa watu wengine, wapeane habari polisi. Kuna polisi wa kutosha huko, hakuna mtu atadhulumiwa. Ile kitu natakana kwamba wapeane habari ili tuweze kuokoa maisha mengi inavyowezekana.